Hello everyone, I hope you're having a wonderful day today. Look what is blooming. My cute little Expresso mini that I did the video on about 3 weeks ago after I bought this cute little miniature at Kroger for $4. I think part of the reason was the buds were just stalling on it, and also the plant had turned purple from magnesium deficiency. So as you see, it is blooming. It's got 2 blooms and 2 buds. I did have a few of the buds to blast, but that's okay because for $4, oh my goodness, this was so worth it. And this bloom is so charming. So I've got a big surprise for you. The magnesium deficiency is practically gone. I will show you what the plant looks like. I'm really excited to show this to you today. And look at the pretty green leaves. The last time you saw this plant, they were very purple. Let me tell you, if you haven't seen this plant before and you want to see what I'm talking about, these leaves were purple when I repotted this little mini. So let me show you which video I'm talking about. Watch me repot my new Expresso Orchid and Spangum moss. And as you see, this was just 3 weeks ago. So I can't wait to show you how I reversed all of this magnesium deficiency in this little orchid. Okay, I used my Epsom salts, about 1/8 of a teaspoon, which is approximately 40 parts per million. And I also used CalMag, 20 drops. Make sure if you get your CalMag, you have a dropper like this because you can't get it out of the bottle. Otherwise, it will just pour out and you'll have too much CalMag. And that's at about 60 to 70 parts per million. So I've been giving this little miniature about 110 parts per million of CalMag and extra magnesium. So that's per gallon, and that was for deficiency. This little miniature is in bloom right now, and so I don't want to feed it a lot of nitrogen at this point. It would also have caused the buds to drop, I believe, after I brought it home. That would probably be a little bit too much shock for it. So I did bring this home. It was in regular brown moss, which, as you all know, I don't grow in regular brown moss. I use really high quality orchid grade Spangum moss or New Zealand Spangum moss. Either one of those is really, really good. It had no transplant shock at all. When I transplanted it, I went ahead and watered it with the amount of CalMag that I just showed you with that extra bit of Epsom salts, and I almost noticed I think I noticed a difference in a few days. Actually, it didn't completely go away. It did take pretty much about 3 weeks for it to really show signs of improvement, but you can see this little miniature has just done really, really well. So when my orchids are in bud now, I have backed off from so much nitrogen. I pretty much give them the CalMag with the extra Epsom salts while they're budding, and it just seems like they're doing really well that way. Now the CalMag does have a little bit of nitrate nitrogen, which I believe is a good thing. Your orchids do need a little tiny bit even when they are in bud, but it's at a very low rate. It's just like 1% of the solution. So I really think that that is beneficial for them as well. And I also wanted to show you my Dendrobium Burana Jade Fantasy number 9. This spike of flowers is still doing beautifully well. As you know, this plant has been in bloom for about 7 months. But these flowers up here are starting to fade. And I was going to show you what I believe is some magnesium and probably a little bit of nitrogen deficiency as well. Let me just kind of show you the leaves and you'll see what I'm talking about. Okay, do you see this kind of patches of green surrounded by this lighter shade of green at the edge of this leaf? I believe that this needs more nitrogen and a little bit more magnesium as well. So what I'm going to be doing over the next few weeks is I'm going to be adding a little bit more nitrogen and a little bit more magnesium to see if I can't get this leaf to green back up. I believe that when orchids are blooming, magnesium is a really important factor in keeping the chlorophyll production regulated throughout its bloom cycle. So I'm thinking that as my orchids are in bloom, I'm going to be adding a little bit more magnesium just to see what happens. I'll probably do that just on one or two. This is going to be another experiment of mine. As you all know, I love to experiment, and then I love to show you all the results of those experiments so that you can gain from my experiments and my experience. So I'm very happy with the way that this experiment turned out. This one just makes me smile. This is a beautiful little bloom. So I'm so glad that I added this collection, and I bought it for $4 on a sale table. You just can't beat that. So it's going to have two more buds that are going to bloom out on it soon. I will be sharing that with you, and I will be updating you all on this little fowl as well. But it really does look like it has had a huge turnaround. It looks healthy, it looks happy, and that's what I like to see in my orchid collection. So again, thank you all so much for watching, and you all just have a highly favored, deeply loved, and greatly blessed day, and we will talk to you all next time.